Hey guys, it's Bren, and I'm here with a Bath & Body Works winter test candle haul. Yay! I'm so excited to talk about these with you guys. If you follow me on Instagram, then you kind of already know that I did go ahead and go to Ohio to buy these candles. I really didn't think I was going to do it, I gotta tell you. Um, I went by myself this time. I did this in the spring. I went with Josh. We kind of made a day of it, and we still were in and out in one day, but it was pretty fun. This time, I didn't have anyone that could go with me, and so no one was holding me accountable. And when I set my alarm on Friday night for 5 a.m. on Saturday morning, and I'd had this really long week at work, I was like, there's like an 80% chance that my alarm's going to go off and I'm going to be like, forget it. I don't need the candles and go back to bed. But weirdly, I actually woke up slightly before the alarm went off at 5, and then I was like, well, I'm up. I guess I'll go. But still, as I was like driving through Indianapolis, I was like, am I really doing this? For me, it's fun. Like, I love a good road trip. It is a 14-hour round trip for me, and I killed it. I left around 7. I was home by 10 p.m. And I think I was like a trucker in a previous life or something, because I could go again today. I could just keep driving. So that's not an issue. But when I calculate out the cost, I spent about $47 on gas, which I have a Civic and it gets pretty good gas mileage, so that really isn't that bad. But 880 miles on my car, and then probably $10 in tolls. I mean, by the time I factor that all in, I could have probably easily bought just a few of the candles that I really wanted on eBay and saved money. But the experience of actually going is fun and being able to go and smell them all. But it was a bit anticlimactic because it was like I drove all that way, I went in, I got my candles, and then I was like, well, I'm in Ohio, but I guess I just go home. There were a couple of stores that I could have hit. Like, there's another store in the area that has the bath bombs, and I think maybe like the winter fine fragrance mists that are testing, but that would have added a couple hours to my trip, and I really didn't care, so I just drove 7 hours, went to one store, and drove home. But now I have the candles. Of course, the benefit to staying there, which I have not done yet, would be that it would give me a little time to think about if there were any more that I wanted. You feel kind of on the spot when you're in there and you smell them all. And I told myself going in, just get anything that you think you might want a little bit, because you can't go back to Ohio, but you could return them in Illinois. They might look at me like I have 4 heads and be like, where did you get these? If I tried to return them at my local BBW, but I could. But then when I'm in there, it's like this inner struggle of like, I have already like so many candles in my bag, and I know that I'm going to spend over $100 already. So I'm trying to talk myself out. I don't need this one. This one will probably make test. I can get it later, and I wasn't getting the best deal. It was 2 for $24. I just used a 20% off coupon. I do have survey coupons, but the hassle of checking out in all these multiple transactions would have only saved me like under $10. So I just used the 20%. But I know if I waited for these candles to come out locally, I could catch them at the $8 candle sale or on some kind of probably slightly better sale. And so I didn't want to go nuts, but at the same time, I didn't want to regret not getting anything. And if I had stayed and woke up there this morning, I would have gone back and gotten some more, because there are some that I only got one of that I wish I would have gotten multiples now. And there's one that I didn't get at all that I kind of wish I had gotten, but I don't know. It is what it is. In total, I got 11 candles. There's one that I got 3 of because it's definitely my favorite. So I have 9 different scents to share with you. Even if I didn't purchase a candle though, if it was a new scent, I took pictures, I took notes, so I can still give you kind of a cold sniff review. So there are 4 collections. I'll go through them one by one and tell you what I got from the collection, what's new in the collection that I didn't get, and maybe just throw out a couple of the returning scents there. So, all right, let's get started. The first collection I'm going to talk to you about is the one that has these really cute, I like them, Christmas tree type of lids. They're very chrome. All of the lids in all of these collections are very bright chrome this year. There's nothing that's muted. There's no different colors like there were for fall. It's basically either going to be like a star thing like this or a Christmas tree like this, or then there are some plain ones too. So it's not like super exciting, but I do think this is really cute. And so in this collection that looks like this, we have the returning scents like winter candy apple, twisted peppermint, which has a cute little polar bear on it, and I almost got that, but again, I was like, hold off, get it when it comes out, because that one will probably definitely pass test. Watch, I say that now and it won't, but it does every year. Vanilla Bean Noel, Marshmallow Fireside, Flannel, I think. There might be a couple others in there. And then there is one called Snowflakes and Citrus, which is a turquoise one. And that, it seems to be Midnight Blue Citrus repackaged to me. It smells exactly the same. If there is any slight little difference, I'm sure someone will say there's a slight little difference. I would chalk it up to just like batch variation, because to me, that was Midnight Blue Citrus. I already have 1.5 Midnight Blue Citrus, and it's not like my favorite. Like, I like it, but I don't love it, so I didn't feel the need to get that one. But in this collection, what I did get was 3. This is the one I got 3 of. And I'm burning it right now back there, but I can't really say anything about how it's burning yet because I just lit it. So we'll give it time. I'll be back, of course, like I always am, with post-burn reviews on all of the ones that I did purchase. But yeah, I got 3 hot cocoa and cream because it smells so amazing. It just, I mean, the simplest way to explain it is imagine opening like a pack of hot cocoa and just how that powder smells, but not like Nestle's Quick or something cheap, but like a good one, like a Godiva chocolate powder thing. I don't know. It smells like hot cocoa powder. I don't get like a lot of marshmallow, but a little bit of marshmallow. And it's just that cocoa-y chocolate. It's just really very similar to cocoa. I mean, the name is dead on. And I'm hoping that it will be a strong one, especially since I got 3. But, I mean, it just smells very, very good. So I got 3 of those. Then in this collection, I also got a spiced gingerbread. Now, this one, it's like, I don't know. I'm like, is it new? Is it not new? Of course, 2 years ago, we had pumpkin gingerbread. And I still have half of that one left. It's hard to say if these are the same, but I don't feel like they are. I feel like there was something about pumpkin gingerbread that really reminded me of the heirloom pumpkin candle, or pumpkin carving, it's also been called. And that little something is missing from this. But this smells just like the gingerbread soaps, pocket bags. Every holiday season, Bath & Body Works puts out a gingerbread like soap, I think, and a pocket bag for sure. And this smells just like that. Now, you guys have to help me remember. Last year, I feel like there was an iced gingerbread, maybe it was called, candle. But I feel like it was a failed test scent. I never had it. I remember seeing it. I remember there being a gingerbread candle last year, but it might have been that it tested and it didn't make it nationwide, because I don't remember actually smelling it or having it in my possession. Definitely I didn't. So let me know, because I don't really remember. My memory's foggy on that. But 2 years ago, there was pumpkin gingerbread. Last year, there was something, but maybe it didn't pass test. And then this year, there's this. And I would be more inclined to guess that this is a repackage of whatever came out last year, rather than pumpkin gingerbread. But these are very similar. I mean, they're very, very, very similar anyway. But this smells very much like what you would expect gingerbread from Bath & Body Works to smell like. It smells like the soap. It smells like the pocket bag. I mean, it's nothing far out or totally new. But I like it. It's really nice, so that's why I picked one up, and I'll have to find out more information before I do my post-burn on this, but like, I don't know if I can call that one new or not. And then there's maple pumpkin pancakes. Now, sometimes I buy candles because I want to review them on this channel, but they're not things that I would normally buy for myself, and this is the case here. I'm not big on maple or caramel. Both of those things are just way too sweet for me. Even though I kind of in general have a sweet tooth, I'm not huge on maple or caramel. But this one's getting a lot of chatter. People are really interested in it, so I decided to pick it up so that I could be part of that conversation and give my thoughts on it. Now, in the store, it's super sweet. In the store, I kept grabbing this and then walking over to cinnamon caramel swirl and smelling that, because like when I first smelled this without cinnamon caramel swirl right next to it, I thought that I would have guessed that this was cinnamon caramel swirl. There's so much caramel. This is pretty much just like a pure, I mean, this is caramel all the way. I don't think it's exactly the same as salted caramel. It's just predominantly caramel. I mean, it almost smells to me like if you have ice cream sundae toppings, you know, the Smuckers. And the caramel one, just open it up and smell it. And that's what this candle smells like. It's just pretty much like pure caramel. Perhaps there's a little bit more complexity underneath, but that's what I mostly get. And then because it's so sweet, I guess you could interpret that as maple too. But there's nothing that screams maple to me, really. It's just super sweet. So like, yeah, maple is super sweet, but I get more caramel than maple. Do I get cinnamon? No. It's not spicy at all. And then Pancakes is a stretch because I guess, like, again, I think this is just all up to your brain and how your brain interprets it, because I don't feel like it's screaming any kind of bakery note, but like you could imagine that it's there. So again, I'm comparing it to Cinnamon Caramel Swirl. It's not that though. It's sweeter, if you can believe it, than that. And then on the way home, as I'm driving home, I'm like reaching over to the passenger seat and smelling all my candles on the drive. And it kind of hit me, I think that this is actually pumpkin caramel latte or caramel pumpkin latte, which was a fall candle that used to come out every year. And then so 2 years ago, it was definitely out. Last year, it was a White Barn exclusive. And then this year, it didn't come out. And darn it, I don't have one. So I'm going on memory here. But I think that's what it is. There's something that could be interpreted as coffee, like way, way in the background. But caramel pumpkin latte never really smelled very much a lot. Never smelled heavily like coffee, really. It was really just like a really intensely sweet caramel scent. So Sean posted something on Instagram about this candle yesterday, and I made a comment asking if he, saying, I think it smells a lot like caramel pumpkin latte. What do you think? And he doesn't think so. But he also said that the Bronze blogger on Instagram asked him the same question, which means that Bronze blogger also made that connection between caramel pumpkin latte and this candle. And so I'm kind of going to stick with my inclination right now. That's the closest thing I could think of to compare this candle to. But it's not cinnamony, it's not pancakey. Maybe it's mapley, super, super sweet. To me, it mostly smells like caramel. Anyway, that's just a cold sniff review. I'm going to burn it and let you guys know what I think. I think it's going to be really, really strong. I'm probably actually not. I'm not really expecting to like that one because I think it's going to be like way too sweet. But anyway, so that's that collection with the Christmas tree lids. Let's move on to this collection. So, there's always a kind of New Year's-y type collection, and it's usually sparkly and glittery. I got two in this collection that I'll talk about, but this is the collection that has champagne toast and black tie, and those two always come out. I'm trying to think what else is a repeat. Peach Bellini. Yeah, that one could just go away forever. But in this collection new that I didn't get, there's one that's red and it's called Celebrate. And I knew that was a repackage of something, but I didn't know for sure. So I asked the sales associate and she compared it to Spiced Apple Toddy, but they have Spiced Apple Toddy there in a different collection and they're not the same. Spiced Apple Toddy's a little spicier and a little stronger. So she asked her manager and the manager said it was mulled cider. So I don't remember that candle really well, mulled cider, but apparently Celebrate is a repackage of that. And it does smell very apple-y, like an apple cider type of candle. So then there's also in this collection Halle Berry Balsam. And my mom, she loves her citrus and pine type of scents and told me, if there were any new citrus pine scents to grab her one. But I called her and I was like, well, there is this one and it says that it has cranberry and citrus and pine in it, but I think it's Merry Mistletoe. And I'm not well versed on my pine scents because that's not my area or my preference. But I was like, I really think that this is Merry Mistletoe. Do you still want me to get it? And she was like, no, she liked Merry Mistletoe a lot, but she got kind of sick of it because she bought like 20 one year. So I passed on getting that one because I think that's what it is. It could be slightly different. I'm not the person to ask about that, but it seems like it's Merry Mistletoe. And then there is Winter Rose. So I think Winter Rose is new, but gosh, that's really not my thing. I'm not a floral person at all. Probably out of everything, I'm not really a pine person. I'm not really a cologne person, but I am really not a floral person. And that just smells like really, really like rose. I mean, pure and simple. But I just feel like with candles that are so heavily floral, a lot of times they just smell fake to me. But again, that's just because it's not my thing. I think a lot of people will really like that candle if they like rose scents, but I don't know, unless I'm smelling an actual rose, I feel like rose scented things are just not, I don't know, there's something about them that's not for me. So I passed on that one, but that one is new and someone who reviews floral candles will probably review that. And so I would refer you to someone else if you're interested in that candle, but that not for me. What I did get that actually kind of surprised me because it does have floral in it. I got this because it's new and different for me. And that is Holiday Sparkle. It's not something I would normally be drawn to. but it does smell pretty good. And, so I was like, I'll take a chance on it. This one is supposed to have citrus and jasmine in it and a little sandalwood, but I don't really get that too much. So I get both of those things, though. I get citrus and I get like a floral. And it comes off as a women's perfume. So, last year they had Party Dress. For actually the past 2 years they had Party Dress. And they were saying in the store when I was there, the sales associate was saying that one did not sell well at all last year. So it's probably gone forever. But that was kind of like a woman's cologne, but in a very different way. This is like a woman's perfume. And I know that someone will say which one it is. I don't know which one it is because I just wear teas from Victoria's Secret and I love it, and I'm not a huge perfume person as much as I'm into Bath & Body Works scents. With actual perfume, I don't have a million of them or anything like that. So I don't know exactly which one this is. Somebody compared it to one called Light Blue or something. I don't know what that is. Dolce & Gabbana, I don't know. It kind of reminds me of this old perfume I had in high school from the Gap. But it definitely has a woman's perfume type of smell, but in a good way, in a fresh, clean, youthful type of way. And so, I don't know, I think this is going to be something different for me. And that's why I got it. It might be kind of light, though. I'm worried about that. I also find the packaging on this one to be kind of boring. I wish that instead of light blue, it was red or green or something more holiday-like, if they're going to use just white wax. But I'm kind of excited to burn that one just because it is going to be something so new and different for me. Now, one that is pretty much right up my alley, at least you would think, is the Berry Vanilla Bean. But going in, I didn't know what I would think because I'd heard people compare it to Berry Sangria Freeze and to Blueberries and Cream and Blueberry Twist, and none of those really wow me. And I'm kind of just sick of blueberries and cream. But I will say, this one, I really do like the color theme on this. I love purple. So this one works for me looks-wise. I thought when I was going in, maybe I would get a couple of these. Then when I was there, I didn't. I only got one because it does remind me a lot of Sangria Berry Freeze. And I'm not a huge fan of Sangria Berry Freeze. There's something a little chemically about this that always just seems a little off to me. So because this reminded me of this, I just got one. But I don't know. Now I'm having second thoughts because the more I smell it, the more interesting it becomes to me. Because the more and more vanilla that I get, the more that I smell it. I also have Blueberry Twist here, and I have a Blueberries and Cream. So in my post-burn review, I can compare it to all three of those candles because I have them all. In this one, you get your blueberry or your berry scent. Really, with Bath & Body Works, they interchange their berries all the time. But you get your berry scent, and then you get a very straightforward vanilla. But with this one, I feel you get your berry, but then you get more of a desserty, almost a vanilla wafer cookie. There's more bakery or something in it. So it's really kind of interesting, but I'm more inclined to say that it's kind of that vanilla wafer, vanilla cookie, bakery type vanilla with Sangria Berry Freeze as opposed to being Blueberry Twist. But it's very similar to all those. That's going to be an interesting post-burn review for me. But yeah, this is one. If I had woke up and I was still in Ohio this morning, I would have gone back and got another one of these. I won't know until after I burn it if I want to get more, but I would guess. If I had to guess if this one would pass test, I would say yeah, but that's a total guess, and I'm hoping, something's horribly wrong with the world if this doesn't pass test, because this just smells amazing on cold. I will call bananas if this doesn't pass test. But this one should, I would say, as well. So yeah, I don't know. Stay tuned for the post-burn review. All right, let's move on. Next collection is this collection. This collection has really pretty labels. The Mahogany Balsam label is actually really nice, but I don't like that scent, so I didn't pick it up. And then in this collection, you have Frosted Cranberry, Winter, Fresh Sparkling Snow is back. There are plenty of old favorites in this collection. New to this collection, there's 4 scents, 2 that I got, the 2 that I didn't get. There's one called Sparkling Woods. That is very much a men's cologne scent, but it smells like a cheap men's cologne to me. It doesn't have a lot of depth. It kind of smells like bug spray, like knockoff men's cologne type of scent. Totally not my thing, so I didn't get that one, even though I think it's pretty. And then there's Winter Mint and Spruce. So Winter Mint and Spruce, I think it's a nice, pretty mint green color. I'm not big on mint. I'm not big on pine, so I didn't get it for myself. But What I can say that's positive about it is that really those two things, the pine and the mint, are very well balanced. You very much get both of them, and it doesn't seem like on cold sniff one is going to drown out the other. So if you think a mint pine blend would be up your alley, then you should try that candle because it smelled like kind of good. You know, if that had been my thing, I would totally get it. I would probably gift that candle to somebody, and it was also very pretty. So what I did get was a cinnamon pine cone. Now this one, also not my thing. I got this one for my mom because after we talked about how Halle Berry Balsam was probably Merry Mistletoe, I was like, well, you know, there's another one here that you might like. I don't know, because my mom is always saying she wishes Bath & Body Works would do other types of pine and not just balsam, because that's not her favorite pine. And I'm like, well, there's one called cinnamon pine cone that's supposed to be juniper and cinnamon, or they say cinnamon, fresh pine, cedar, and juniper. I'm like, it doesn't say anything about balsam. I don't think it's balsam, although I'm not the expert on that. I'm like, but you know, maybe would you like that? And I said, but it's very, very, very Christmassy, and it is. It's like hardcore holiday. When I burn this, testing it out, it's going to be extremely strange because this is a candle you're only going to want to burn it in December, and that's it. It's like super, super Christmas, and it smells like it's going to be super intensely strong. But the question my mom asked is, well, is the cinnamon like a red hot cinnamon, or is it like an authentic cinnamon? And that's the thing. It's a very authentic cinnamon. It's not red hot. It's like an actual cinnamon stick. And so for that reason, I kind of like it. And it also feels well balanced. Like you get the cinnamon and you get the pine, both very clearly. And it's a nice mix. So yeah, it's like 90 degrees out, but I'm totally going to burn this cinnamon pine cone to let you know what I think about it. Then I'm going to give it to my mom. And then the other one from this collection that I picked up is also something that is not, like there's quite a few candles here that are not my typical thing, which is kind of exciting. But yeah, Chestnut and Birch. I was on the fence about this one. This is one that, there were really two, the Vanilla Balsam, which I'll talk about in a second, and this one, that both of them I was like, I want to get this to review for my channel. It's not normally my thing. I don't know if I'm going to like it. And I was totally going back and forth about them, and I decided, you know what, let's get one, since I couldn't decide between the two. Now I wish I'd gotten both, but this is the one I decided to get over Vanilla Balsam because this is more interesting. This is really, really interesting. So I think I'm going to have a lot to say about it. It's supposed to be chestnut, caramel sea salt, but I don't really get any caramel. Fireside woods and birch bark. It smells a lot like wood, but then there's something very interesting about it and nutty for sure. But I'm also, like, it kind of smells like dirt. Or so there's something musty about it. This is just going to be a real challenge for me to review. There will probably be other people that can review this a little better than I can, because it's just not normally my thing, but that's also what makes it exciting and why I decided to get it. It's really different. I don't know. But yeah, you know, stay tuned for my attempt at reviewing that candle. All right, and then the last collection is just the solid colored glass collection that they always do. And in this collection, you've got, I mean, they had it all mixed in with the ones that are still there from fall and even summer. It was just all the solid color glass candles were together. But the new ones that popped out, I mean, like Fireside is back. I don't know if that's been out or if that's testing right now, actually. But Sparkling Icicles is there. And what else? Merry Cookie. Yeah, so that's coming back. And then there are two new ones in this collection that I didn't get. Winter Cedar. So winter cedar smells just like a hamster's cage. I mean, it smells just like cedar chips. Almost exactly. I applaud them on that. But I feel like I don't really, even though I like that smell, like if I am actually smelling cedar, it's kind of good. I just don't know how I feel about a candle trying to imitate that smell. For the same thing with like the winter rose and the floral scents. Same thing with Summer Bonfire from, not the summer, but the summer before. That was like a wood type of scent. It smelled like sawdust. And I actually really like the smell of like walking into Home Depot and it smelling like wood or sawdust, but a candle imitating that is weird to me. And so winter cedar, I passed on that. But if you think you would like a candle that smells exactly like cedar chips that you put in a hamster's cage, go get that, because that's exactly what it smells like. And then, like I said, I passed on the vanilla balsam, which I'm kind of regretting now. But the reason that I passed on it is because I felt like I wouldn't have a ton to say about it in a review because it's very easy to describe. It is mostly fresh balsam, and then there's a little bit of vanilla in there. And so you know how I said that the cinnamon pine cone is very well balanced with the cinnamon and the pine, and also the winter mint and spruce seems very well balanced with mint and pine together. I do not feel that way about vanilla balsam. I feel like it's very heavy on the balsam, and it's 90% their fresh balsam candle and then just like 10% vanilla. In fact, before I smelled it side by side with fresh balsam, I was like, I really don't get much vanilla in this at all. There's something a little bit sweet about it, but that was about it. Now, when you smell it side by side with fresh balsam, then you can really tell the difference because it does have a sweetness and a smoothness from the vanilla, but it just feel like burning that would very much be drowned out. So I'm actually excited for someone else to do a post-burn review on vanilla balsam because I'd like to watch it just to kind of see if I'm right in my guess about that candle. But to me, it's very much like fresh balsam. If you like fresh balsam, then hey, get this. It's a nice little twist on it, but there's not a whole lot of vanilla in there. It's just a little bit. It just makes it a little sweeter, a little creamier, but it's a lot like the fresh balsam candle with just a slight tweak to it. What I did get in this collection is the returning scent Peppermint Marshmallow. So this was out last year as Joy Peppermint Marshmallow. I have one over there, but it's too much trouble. Well, let's just grab it. All right, here's last year's version. And this was a big hit last year. A lot of people really enjoyed it, so I hoped that it would come back, and it has. But I was really hoping, a lot like with pumpkin spice cheesecake, which I hoped would come back but burn better this year. And it did. I got my wish on that one. I really hope that this one burns better, and that's why I picked one up, because I still have 1.5 of these. But this was terrible. It was like very much a cotton ball type of candle. The wicks were drowning themselves out. It gave me hell. It was an awful, awful burn, but a great scent. So I'm excited that it's back, and I just hope that this version burns better. One thing that's driving me nuts is the label is so high up on it. Like, it should be centered. It shouldn't be so near the top, but they were all like that. It looks so stupid. It needs to be like moved down. But anyway, yeah, this is the same old Peppermint Marshmallow from last year, in a nice pink package, and hopefully with a better burn. All right, and then this last one is the Peach Meringue. And this is one that I really wish I would have gotten a second one. If I could go back today, I would get the Vanilla Balsam, I would get another of the Berry Vanilla Bean, and I would get another one of these. Because this one, I'm afraid, might not pass test. So the story with this one is, I went in, I smelled it, and I was basically just like asking myself, so is this going to be Peach Bellini or is this going to be Market Peach / Georgia Peach? For you old BBW fans, you know that Georgia Peach used to be called Market Peach. So it's always going to be Market Peach to me, even though I think Georgia Peach is a better name. But this is how I'll always remember it. This is 2013, like summer, fresh picked, by the way. And so I went in, and I love that candle. I hate Peach Bellini. It is sweet and fake and gross. I love Market Peach, Georgia Peach. So I went in and I smelled this one, and I was like, okay, yeah, that is definitely more Market Peach, Georgia Peach. It's not Peach Bellini. But I kind of felt like maybe I got something, a little bit of vanilla in there, a little bit of creaminess. But then I was like, no, maybe that's just my brain playing tricks on me. And I just couldn't decide if there was actually vanilla in this candle or if I was just imagining it. Because, you know, you're in there and I'm smelling all these candles and your nose gets kind of messed up and, you know, and it's hard to say. But I kind of figured, well, I only have at this point, this is the only Market Peach, Georgia Peach that I have left. I do love the scent. I'm never going to burn this particular one because this was like my first and it has sentimental value and all of that. So I got this one because I figured, oh, I could use another one. But I only got one because I thought, like, it's probably the same old, same old. But then, the more and more I smelled it on the way home, I kept sniffing it. And I kept being like, dang, no, I really think they did change it. I really think it's tweaked. I really think that there is a little bit of vanilla in it. And I love that. In fact, the more I smell this one, the more I like it. This might be one of my favorites. But again, I've always loved Market Peach, Georgia Peach. I wish there was more vanilla. I mean, they say they added vanilla. Peach nectar, golden apricot, juicy nectarine, whipped vanilla. So they say it's in there. And I feel like it's in there. There's kind of like a peach cream saver kind of thing going on here, and I like it. But the vanilla is like probably less than is even in the vanilla balsam. If that's $10.90, then this is like $5.95. I mean, it's just a little bit. I really think I would enjoy it if they really mixed a lot of vanilla cream in with this peach. I might burn this next to like a vanilla candle to get more of like a desserty kind of feel from it. Man, oh man, I should have got more of these. The reason being that if I had to guess, this one probably won't pass test because people are like so mad at Bath & Body Works for putting out all these peach scents around the holidays, and they have peach Bellini in this collection. You know, are they both gonna pass test? I don't know. I hope it does because now I feel like I'm gonna want more of this. Yeah, I feel like there is something a little different. It's not hugely tweaked, but maybe a little. So we'll see. I'll have to burn it, and maybe I'll burn it and be like, nah, this is just, the vanilla doesn't come through. It smells just like Georgia peach or whatever. But if that vanilla does come through burning, I'm going to kick myself 5 ways from Sunday for not getting more of those, especially if it doesn't pass test. But anyway, that's it. Those are the test candles that I got yesterday. That I drove 14 hours for and spent, I mean, the candles came to with tax like about $113, but the trip cost me well over $200. So anyway, whatever. It's my hobby. What are you gonna do? Everybody has their thing, right? People call me crazy. My sister, she's like, you're nuts. I can't believe you're doing that, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, I can't believe you go ride a bunch of roller coasters because I hate roller coasters, but that's what you like to do, and this is what I like to do, right? Okay. Stay tuned, subscribe, like the video, all that good stuff, and then follow me on Instagram at Candles and Music for more updates. I will be back with post-burn reviews on all of these candles, and I'm really excited about that too. So thanks for watching. Have a great day. Bye.